Hey guys, this is SpockJoe, and today I'm going to be doing a comparison of two controllers that I've reviewed so far on this channel. One being the Emio Elite controller for the PlayStation 4, and also the StrikePack FPS Dominator for the PlayStation 4 as well. Now, as I'm going through this, there are pros and cons to each controller and modification, but the point of this video is hopefully to give you guys an idea of what I think of these two products, and hopefully give you an idea of which product you should probably buy versus the other. So with that said, if you like this video, please hit that like button, and if you're new to the channel, don't forget to subscribe. And if you want to see more content like this, hit this channel and the bell. All right guys, just before I get started with this, I just want to say that I know that there's going to be haters, and there's going to be people that this video helps. You're either going to like this video and it's going to be helpful to you, or you're going to hate this video and you're probably going to give me a dislike or whatever. Really, I don't care, because for me, I am a consumer, and whenever I buy products, I want the products to work the way that they're supposed to work, how they're promised that they're supposed to work, and that it's just gonna be a product that I'm not having to do extra steps to make it work the way that it was meant to work in the first place. I am going to be talking specifically about the Emio Elite controller for the PlayStation 4, and I'm also going to be talking about the StrikePack FPS Dominator mod pack for the PlayStation 4. Now, first off, I did buy this Emio controller, and I did a review on it. You can go back and check out the video for that and see what my initial thoughts was. I did use the controller for a little while. I got pretty comfortable with how the controller worked and really saw its little quirks and its pros and cons, right? So what ended up happening is, one of my thoughts on it is the analog sticks were very, very poor. They were very, very weak in the sensitivity, and playing different games, they would kind of shoot you in one direction. Maybe you weren't even aiming in that direction, but it just didn't work very well. Well, I found out through other people viewing my video and letting me know that there was a firmware update. So I went to Emio's website, I downloaded their firmware update, and it's specifically for this little dongle here. This you plug into your PlayStation 4 and it connects with the controller, but this is where all the firmware update is stored. So I downloaded it, I tried to load it, and instead of loading it, it corrupted this little dongle, and now my controller doesn't work at all. Now, I am saying this specifically from my perspective. Now, there are people that are probably using this Emio controller and they think it's the best thing since sliced bread. But for me, it stopped working, and then I feel kind of robbed because I spent about $90, $80 to $90 for this controller, and I used it for a couple weeks, and now it just doesn't work. I wish I could go back and not use that firmware update, because at least I would have a controller that halfway functions. Right now, it doesn't function at all. Okay? Now, I don't know why, but since then, Emio has taken that firmware update off of their website, and this is as of May 8th, 2017, just so you guys have a point of reference of when this video was made, and they may put a firmware update for this controller in the future, but right now they have taken down the previous firmware update for this controller, and for me, this is kind of where I'm going to start ranting. When I buy a product, or I go to a grocery store or anywhere, think about this. You walk into a grocery store, you go specifically to get a gallon of milk, you pick the gallon of milk, you go through the register, you get home, you open it up, And as you're trying to pour, you realize that you have absolutely no milk in the jug. Now, you as the consumer, would you tolerate that type of service from a company or maybe a franchise or a store that would allow you to buy something that you couldn't use? Okay, because now you bought the milk, you're really excited about those Cheerios, and you go to pour the milk and you don't have milk for your Cheerios. That's kind of how I feel about this product. I feel like I bought it, I was trying to use it, but I had to go and do something more to make this product work the way that it was meant to work from day one. When they put it on the shelf, there's a certain expectation that this product is supposed to work. Now, I haven't seen any products, I haven't seen anybody recall these controllers or anything like that, but maybe they will, maybe they won't. I don't know. But for me, I feel like this is a defective product, and I'm not really satisfied with how it has benefited me. Specifically, I spent $90, $80 to $90 for this product for it not to work. Now, granted, guys, this is a rant, and I apologize, but I want you guys to know what you're getting or what you're potentially going to get if you do business with Emio. Now, Emio, this video is not to bash you or to make you guys belittled in the product that you have given us, but hopefully it will give you guys an idea whenever you do make products for the future that you maybe have them a little more fine polished so that you can sell more controllers. That it would benefit you to sell a product that is superior to your competition. And I really feel like you guys dropped the ball there. Now, this is just my opinion, guys. There are many of you guys out there that do have the firmware update and it works beautifully, and your controllers, and I see you guys saying that it's working beautifully, and thank you for allowing people to have the software for this controller to work just right. Me, it just didn't work. And for whatever reason, maybe I got a defective dongle. I have tried it over and over. I've spent many, many hours trying to get this thing fixed, and it just doesn't work. Now, I may have broke it. I'm going to leave it out there. But I wanted to be as honest with you guys as possible, because when you're walking into a store and you see one of these controllers, there's a pro and con to buying this product. And I would rather you guys be educated in the potential that this may break. You spent $80 to $90 for it and it breaks, than getting home and not being able to take it back to the store because you decided that you didn't need the repair kit or the package where you pay a little bit of extra money to get a warranty on it. Like I said, this is my perspective. This is what I have experienced with this product. And as a consumer, I do feel a little bit cheated. So as I transition this, I'm going to be talking about another product, because specifically I bought that so I could play Call of Duty and Battlefield and not have to take my thumb off of the analog stick to jump and do stuff like that, so that I could play a little bit more smoothly. I ended up getting the StrikePack FPS Dominator for the PlayStation 4, and I will say, guys, this is what it is. It's just a little modification that you put onto the controller, existing controller that you currently own, and it just fits on like this. It snaps together like this. It stays on. It has the little paddles so that you don't have to continually take your thumb off the analog stick to jump. You can program it. It has many different modifications. And this thing only cost me, I believe, $39.99. So about $40. I already had a controller, a PlayStation 4 controller that I spent, I think, $59.99 for it. And I will say that this right here works 100 times better than the Emio controller. And I want to give you guys a couple reasons why. The PlayStation 4 controller in and of itself, if that's all you had, the buttons, the analog sticks, and everything about it, the buttons and everything, they work perfectly. There is no lag time, there is no sensitivity issues. Actually, the analog sticks on the on the PlayStation 4 stock controller is very, very sensitive. It works very, very well. So adding this little modification actually allows you to play the games like Call of Duty and Battlefield and Titanfall 2 and all the FPS games that you just love and adore. You can play them a lot better. And you have more functionality with this little mod pack than you could ever have with the Emio controller. Now, here's the comparison. At bare worst, you needed to buy a controller and the mod pack. You would pay $59.99 for a brand new controller and about $30 to $40 for the mod pack. You have those two together. You're anywhere around $90 to $100. This one you're paying about $90. And I will say that at the end of the day, this is still the better product because it just works. Now, here's the thing. If you want to save some money, go to GameStop and you can buy these controllers for sometimes half the price. So you could spend maybe $40 for it and another $40 for the mod pack, and you've spent just as much or less than what you spent for the Emio controller, and it just works. Now, guys, I am just speaking from my perspective. There is one downfall to this controller. You can't use the mod pack unless you have it hardwired with this proprietary cable. It just fits in right here and you go. You plug it into your console. It's hardlined, which, by the way, is actually a better way to use a controller anyway, because you don't have that time latency or the button or just the signal latency that you would have it whenever it's wireless. You get a signal every time and it works. So that is kind of my perspective, just comparing these two controllers. Now, granted, I do favor this one over the Emio. This is my choice versus the Emio controller. This is just me. This is my perspective. If you guys have a different opinion, that's okay. Maybe the Emio is the best controller you've ever had, but for me, this is probably the best option I've seen instead of buying a $200 scuff controller. All right, guys, if you like this video, please hit that like button. And if you're new to the channel, don't forget to subscribe, and we'll see you next time.